Guys, hello guy, I hope Lishapu, and today I just wanted us to do, to look at VIX 75, which is volatility 75. So we can try and put some of the concepts that we've learned so far together in, when analyzing this, So I'm gonna go through the major time frames so that you know that for, long term, or at least the next coming weeks or so, I know what could happen on this VIX 75. Okay, so let's get to it. So what is important is for you to identify your major levels. You just need to know your resistance area and your support area. So you need to know now how the price is moving from where to where, because remember, if the price is here, it's coming from there, coming down like that, there must be support somewhere there, and there must be resistance somewhere where it turned. Even if it doesn't matter where we are, you must be able to identify two structures to say, oh, at least I have this structure here and then I have this one here, so we have resistance above, right? So in this case, what we can see here is that, and remember this monthly chart, we can see that our support area, it's somewhere there on this monthly time frame. Support area is somewhere there, so that's our support. And another thing that we can we can see at the top there is that the last time the price came, I don't know if I will be able to reduce this. Okay, the scale is not gonna change because I'm using a phone, but it's fine. There's something that I want to show you. If you check this price here, compare it to that one there, you can see that the price, let's say this is price number one, this is price number two. We can see that price number two went higher than price number one, which means number two defeated the resistance. There was a resistance, but it managed to defeat it and go above it. But one, even though that happened, also keep this in mind. Okay, we managed to defeat it, but we didn't manage to, sort of secure our defeat, if I can put it like that. We defeated it by going above it, mara we did not close above it. Right? So that's not convincing enough. And when the month started, because remember this is a monthly chart, we are drawing one bar per month. When the month ended, we had this rejection bar. So you can see we tried to to defeat them. We went above them, mara they still managed to push us down, and we closed with the rejection bar there, which is still rejection bar at this level. Well, and remember on the video that I made about how to draw the area, I told you that sometimes the price it can overshoot your thing. Sometimes it can undershoot. When it's overshooting, it's when it goes above it but still turns. Remember, I think I explained it something like this. I said when it comes and then it goes slightly higher than it, but it goes down. Like even though it went above here, it did not manage to close there. That's overshooting. I think I did talk about this concept before. So that's exactly what we are having here. The price overshot the level, but it did not close above. And it also closed with what? A rejection bar or a pin bar, which means there's too much pressure for the seller. So if I wanted to buy, saying we broke that level, it's not a good idea. You can see that yes, I broke it by going above it. Mara did not close above. I have this currently. We have what? We have this rejection bar, which means the momentum is currently what? Trying to push to the downside. So I need to be careful. So if I'm to find a selling opportunity, I can sell and say what? We are forming rejection bar just at the all-time resistance. Everyone, then you stand a greater chance of making some money if it drops with you. Everyone. So yeah, I think that is all that we can say with this time frame. We can say the price now, we just wish it can get to this area. We wish it can get there. So when it gets there, we will be expecting some rejection there, even if it doesn't go all the way up. Mara, we don't expect the price to just go like this and not pause there and maybe go up before taking it completely. So once the price reaches here, Once it reaches here, then we start to zoom and look for buying opportunities of signs of reversal, so that we can try and buy the reversal. Right, man? So let's just mark this so that when you're moving to a different time frame, we can still see what's happening. So I can put it somewhere there, and also here. So for those of you who will be asking, or how it was, what is it that I did, we just used this body here and the lowest point, which is that, and that's how we draw our thing. So let's move to a different time frame, slightly lower, which is gonna be our weekly. Let's see what weekly say. Remember when we went up, I think I already discussed this with you guys. We had this, né? And what did we do? Let's say look at these two rejection bars here, which are happening exactly when so it was two rejection bars. So what we have there, two rejection bars plus engulfing pattern. Which engulfing, if you check this bar, if you check this nice strong bearish bar, it engulfs this. So that's a confirmation that the bears are coming in, right? So remember, on this time frame, our trend line will be, it will be somewhere there, right? So if my trend line is there, I need to assess how the price moves towards the trend line. Let's say, look at this. Isn't this a sign enough that the bears are very, very angry? As much as I have a trend line here, I can't just say, there are those ones who just say the price has touched the trend line, let me buy. Yes, it has touched the trend line, it has touched it before, but it doesn't mean the price has to respect your trend line forever. So that's why when it touches your trend line, you must wait and check how the price reacts to that trend line, and then based on the structure that it will be forming around that trend line, then you can decide if it is worth taking a buy and giving the bulls a chance. But in this case, I don't think there was anything that is pointing towards the bulls. If I can, let's just put our trend line here. I'll show you what I mean when I say there's nothing that is pointing towards the bulls here. So sign number one, that shows that the buyers or people that want to buy, they don't have any leg to stand on. Number one. Two, rejection bars at all-time resistance. That's number one. I'm talking about two, about that. Reason number two why buying is not a good idea at this point, at that point in time, we had engulfing structure at the very same all-time resistance, which is this engulfing, this bar. It engulfed those two. So that's still another sign of what? Bearish dominance. Number three, the price formed what again? It formed another two rejection bars just above the trend line, or just before hitting the trend line. So that's what I'm saying, when you're trending, you must always check how the price moves around. So always look left and see what is happening. So in this case, we can see that just before we touch our trend line, we are showing these reversals here. So we can say that let's say we put the trend line there, we can say the price came here, and then it got rejected. Even though it hasn't touched the trend line, yes, it got rejected and went up there, but when the week ended, it came back and closed there, which means the best still pushed it down. And then come second week, we started, and then we went up. With some point we were there, and then before the week ended, we were here. So you can see that there's something that is happening here. There's something like the bears, their strength is still, so now they are forming a second pin bar just before hitting the trend line. So I wouldn't be surprised if the momentum that pushed this thing down carries over, and then we don't respect the trend line. So if the price comes here, I can't just go and buy, because look at how it is approaching here. So that was the sign ring, let us not buy, and then the price went and took that thing off. Okay, that's fine. So now remember, these two red horizontal lines, it's our area of what, support on monthly. So this is a higher time frame. So we just wish the price can come to at least somewhere there where I want. So if we wanted to mark one on weekly, let's use a different color, which is gonna be, let's use a different color to the one that we had already, so that we don't confuse them. We know this one belongs to what and this one belongs to what. But it's fine. Let me just mark it with how can I put this? I'll mark it. Let's just remove it. I'll mark it with the pen, with the marker. You can see that area that we used to draw our monthly zone, our weekly would be there, which is still what inside our monthly. So if we just leave these two, we would know that this is the low that we used to draw that. So we are expecting the price, at least if it touches there, we'll be like, yay, now we can go up. So if it gives us, it touches somewhere there, or it comes depending on here, we're still inside what our support zone, so we're still safe. Just because it did this and came here doesn't mean now we should panic. We are still very much safe because we are still in this. And remember, the lower the price moves and you are trying to buy, the more it gives you the discount, and the more money you stand to make should it reverse. Because remember, if I'm buying here and the price goes here, I'm targeting this area, and then the trader 2 buys from there and we target the same area. Remember, this one made this much and now we have made this much. So that's why I'm saying the deeper it goes into our zone, the more we get excited, because it is giving us a discount, and it is, also increasing our profit margin. So we can see that now, if we are to take one here, we can see that here, as much as the price, remember the price was moving again, and then around this area it was not just moving smoothly. It came back and then rejected, came back and then got rejected. Remember when this happened, ne? So if I'm buying, I'll just have to exit. I don't know what's gonna happen here, because the last time the price was there, it did what? It was just moving, down, got rejected, down, got rejected. So there's something that is happening here. There's something. It is not a smooth ride here, my man. So if I'm buying, I'll be targeting what? My TPs. I can put them somewhere there. And remember, it can also be those ones who are gonna tell you that it's a retest of a trend line. Remember, our trend line here was here. So if the price was to do this, and now we'll be exiting, not because we are retesting the trend line, but because we are retesting this area that has got a lot of volatility in either direction, so it can reverse the price and take away my profit. So when you get there, now I'll be putting my TP there. So there'll be those ones who'll be like, we are retesting the trend line, let me sell. But if it moves in the other direction, it moves in the other direction. I don't trade like that. I'm just exiting because I just want to make sure that target trade, and there's no anything that can cause resistance to my things. Like, there's no too much resistance between where I'm entering and my TP. And if you can check, if the price comes there between this and that, this is a very smooth move. The move that we're currently having, this is a very smooth move. It's just in one direction. So chances are that even when I'm going up, I'll have a nice ride. I won't have anything to left that is going to resist my movement. Why one? Mara, once we get here, something is happening there. So I must just exit. Why one? So far we're agreeing that this is where we just wish the price could get there, and then we start looking for buying opportunities, ne? So let's look for a different time frame, which is daily. This is where it gets interesting, because remember that zone that we're talking about. So that low that we're talking about, saying we used it to draw the monthly area of support, and the weekly area of support is here. And we can see we had a rejection bar there, and then that's where the uptrend started. So if you were to mark a area of support on this time frame, it will also be here. It will also be there. Remember, I showed you how to mark the zone, where you are covering the body, and then so if it was to come here, we are very, very excited, because the last time it came here, it did what? It gave us this rejection, and which is a nice move. So we're expecting some rejection there, should it get there, and then we'll be expecting something like this. So if it doesn't happen, it's fine. But so far, in terms of the analysis that we're having here, I just wish it can get there. Whatever. So you see now we are at this level. It can also reverse. Mara, we don't have a leg to stand on. We don't have anything to say I can look for buying opportunities. So it is at a support, ne? And you know the previous day, what did it do? This is interesting. Look at this. I don't want to zoom too much, but I want it to be visible. Yes. So look at this. Looking at this support, ne? This support, we agree that this price moved below it, right? And then you'll be like, yes, it moved below it. It took out the support. Mara, remember, it's the same concept that we had up there where we said it just overshot it. It did not close below. What did it do? It tried to go down but closed up there. So which means the bulls are very strong. So they can still push the price up. Mara, look what they did. Look what they did. Always check your structure, guys. Look what they did. As much as they managed to come and close there ne? They never went above that. They never managed to keep up the momentum and went above that. Mara, look at what we did when we were on what? On weekly. On weekly we did have a rejection, but we didn't just end there. We managed to come below that and push the price down, which is a different scenario. Here the bears were very angry. They still won the fight. Mara, in this case of daily, we you know, as much as they are fighting, you know, the bulls, as much as they're saying, hey, I'm still there, you know, they push the price up, but they just ended there on that day. They formed the pin bar, but they didn't manage to continue that momentum and push the price above that. Not a good sign. So the next part just went straight down. Whatever. So I don't think the bulls have anything as yet. Mara, the pin bar, they formed it. Let's just hope. Let's just watch the price until it closes now, because remember it's a daily chart, and see if here at the bottom, if here at the bottom they will try and protect their pin bar and not allow the price to come below. If the price comes below, we neglected the pin bar, it doesn't exist anymore. Why one? Because of what we want when we're in a trading pin bar. That's when we have pin bar. We expect the price to continue with this momentum of forming pin bars and go above in that direction, not come below, not come this side. Because the moment it comes this side, it's a different structure now. You know, it's like you have engulfed whatever that you had there, which means now we just continued going down. Why one? So in this case, we just want to see if the price is gonna protect its territory and not allow the price to reach there. If it reaches there, it means there is only one way to go now, which means the zone that we are talking about. But it can still reverse where we are for as long as it doesn't cross to the downside. Live on. So we just in between this. So there's a chance that if it reaches there, there's a chance of it coming there. If it comes here, there's a chance of it going to maybe somewhere in that area. Live on. So let's just go down to H4 and see what's happening there. But our biggest wish is what, guys? Is this, because remember we'll be getting more discount. Live on. So let's check H4. The structure is very, very compact, and you know, it's not as much as it's moving down, but it is not making some nice strides. Because remember, when the price is moving down, we want stuff like this. Then I know the momentum is really to the downside. But if you're just making this type of bars, you know, we're just moving like this, but you know, as much as we're going down, but it's not very convincing. You know, the sellers are not very convincing. Mar, now remember, we are just saying we want to see if this area is going to be protected, if the price is not going to go lower than that. And the recent bar was what it showed. The momentum was going down. The strength of that bar is pointing down. Right, but we'll see where this goes. So lastly, let's do H1. I don't like going lower than that. Let's see H1, what's happening here. On H1, I'm assuming this is higher than that, which is it is. And our thing was here, because remember, for us to draw this, we need a higher price, a higher high. We had the first high. For the second one must be higher than that one. That when I can use the lows that formed those highs to draw a trend line. And then the price came and touched the trend line. It tried to reverse, but it didn't give us a new high. It rather went down and took out the trend line. Then we are back to where we started. Or the lowest point in this area, which is here. So now we just want to see how the price is going to react there. So let's just do H4, M15, which is what most people like on this thing. The lowest point is here on M15. It's here, right? So the price currently is just going sideways. But remember what it is doing now. It has on M15. Remember, you can't trade all the time frames. The ones that you pick, just make sure you stick to them. So on this time frame, we have a trend line there. Where the price went up towards it. It didn't close above it. Someone can, that's why I'm saying now I don't trade what this. I can't say just because we have this, then it means we broke the trend line. I must have a bar that is outside the trend line and not touch the trend line. In this case, there's nothing above that doesn't touch the trend line. So it means my trend line is still not yet broken. So someone, I'm sure they bought there saying the trend line is broken. And how did that go? They got banned. So now the price, its reaction to the trend line is coming down. It's here. Now it's here again. So just keep watching it and see how it plays out. But it has higher chances of removing this because of what the daily is not very much convincing for as long as, unless if they go up and not cause the price to go below that. Marara, now we are waiting for what, good people? We are waiting for what? If you want to trade the smaller things, the smaller time frames, you can say, I'm at this low and I'm forming a rejection bar. I even went above it, so let me buy. But we're gonna exit. There's too much traffic here, so this is not worth it. There are those ones where you can play it like this, and then it end up giving you a small enough thing. Someone could have said, I'm sort of at this high, and then I'm having a rejection bar, and then I still manage to push in this direction. Let me sell. You must be placed somewhere before you can use this thing. Let me just look for one more and show you. Yes, I found one here. So this is what I mean. You keep that pin buyer daily on your mind. Ne? So this time around, if I'm trading M15 and I hit that area, and remember the last time the price came to the very same, I removed it, came to the very same area, it got rejected, it went down. Now it is coming to the same area again. How does it react to it? It gives me a rejection bar and it still moves below the range of that pin bar. And that's a sign that the bears can push down. So in this case, let's go down to daily. Let's go up to daily. I'm show you what I mean by that. Saying we got what? We got to a support. We agree, because the support that you're talking about, remember, is this one. This one, we already talked about it. I don't want to waste time. So we talked about this one. We are at the support. We form a pin bar. We don't manage to go above the range of that pin bar, which means the bulls are not very serious. So now that's what I'm saying. We're waiting to see them. I wouldn't be surprised if their territory is violated completely and the price moves below. Or if this current bar, the red bar that is currently open, if it by the time it closes, it comes and closes there, that's another pin bar at a support. So now I think there's a second chance they can push up. So we will see. I think that's it, guys. If you want to trade it, I think I've given you enough hints on how to look at it based on what is currently happening. On the smaller time frames, there are those ones who will try and buy, but there's too much traffic here. Now I don't like to going all the way down there, so I end here most of the time. So if you are trading until here, you know that the area of traffic, or the area of, if you are buying Smaranian, remember, you can't buy and expect it to go all the way up because of what? Look at what the bigger structure is saying. You can always play with these smaller time frames, Mara. You must also keep you must also keep your thing small. You must also keep your TP small. When you can't buy here and expect your thing to be big, of which on a bigger time frame that it doesn't allow you to do that based on the structure that side. So if I'm buying here, I can say this is the zone of where the price seems to be. If I get something to buy, I can maybe exit there. Then I've made a decent, not a lot, but this being for 375, we know it pays by one. Up until I can do these smaller movements up until the price decides on the bigger time frames that it is now going in the certain direction, and then that's when I can open a trade of what, of longer term, maybe hold it for a day or for 2 or for a week or whatever. So that's it, guys. I hope you've learned something in terms of how you can analyze VIX 75 or volatility 75. So this one, for those ones who want to trade the smaller time frames, they can put their thing there and say on this M30 I have a trend line there, and I'm back to square one. I'm back to the base or the support. So let me hope that the thing is gonna be broken, and then if it retests and gives me a pin bar somewhere there or an engulfing somewhere there, I can buy, and this is going to be my TP. Yeah, that's it, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe there. Cheers.